Ever be overseas? You ever in the military?
Okay, so you guys went and got Steve Albini to produce your record, which I thought struck me as a really good idea because I think production, as it's developed over the years, really seems to smooth out music a lot. You know, I think maybe more people should do that. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely.
I mean, you hear riffs that were once like revolutionary, and now they're on Aerosmith records, and they're meaningless.
Big. Everything gotta sound big.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds flat. Tame.
I mean, did you tell Albini you wanted something, or did you just go to him because
No.
he had something?
See, he doesn't consider himself
He's
a
got
producer.
it. He's got it, and
He's a recorder.
and he will not let go of it. Like for Albini, you know, he's got his epic. You know, you gotta either do the song like 3 takes or 4 takes, and then like forget it. Don't even record it. You know. So we went in there, and all our chops were really strong. So we like first take, we did all these songs. So it caught his interest. But yeah, it's like really like narrow, but really cool, like really like hard and about Albini's production.
Oh, we weren't listening to you. We were talking about something else.
They were talking about
Blood
blood and
blister.
blisters.
I
Yeah.
was trying to draw you into this
Oh, sorry.
conversation.
I'm sorry. Let's start over.
Most of the songs on our record were first take.
No overdubs, just done straightforward.
No, there were
overdubs.
Guitar overdubs.
Has having Pat in the band changed the dynamic on stage?
Sure.
Makes it a lot more fun.
Ooh, makes it easier for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
Gives something. It gives everyone something to look at.
Oh yeah, right. Half the time I don't even ever look at the other guys. I mean, I have so many other things to concentrate on, and then I look over and I see Pat's smiling face, and it just gives me a bit of hope, you know. Makes me feel good.
I know I saw you guys at Roseland. I think what I saw is right, that the stuff you're using on stage for like little stomp boxes are just little stomp boxes, right? They're not $300 great big.
Oh no, they're old, early 70s Electro Harmonics effects boxes.
Wow, how do you keep that stuff going?
Bernie Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah, our guitar friend. This guy fixes good. He can fix anything, a blender or a guitar. He's great. He's just and they're
He's
kind of
into
hard
old
to find.
technology.
Yeah, those things are kind of hard to find, and I guess they're becoming collector's items now.
I think there's a store in New York that collects that stuff.
He knows, like,
Yeah,
like
Rogue
they,
Music.
they,
Price sells
they
it for
use this
exorbitant prices.
capacitor, they use this transistor, because they used this poor grade, cheap transistor at the time. That's what gave it that sound. Like if you used a modern transistor, it wouldn't sound as
True.
cool.
If you were to use the same schematic but used contemporary electronics, you wouldn't get the same sound. You know what I mean?
The Soviet Union is now a former Soviet has got them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Electroharmonic or buying them.
It's a Red Army pedal.
Yeah,
they
they
make them
make
out of
those pedals.
tanks.
Yeah.
Tanks. And you go,
Make 'em out of
"Coo,"
tank
you like
parts.
crank on it.
That's the technology
Really?
that made them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The
They're not
sheet
the
metal
same.
is about
They're
that
not the
thick.
same.
So heavy.
There's a tank part.
Starship
Yeah.
box is just
No, they're not.
Wow.
I got a big muff.
And that's a big muff.
They're
It's
not
a
as good.
total tank.
Not a big
Tank materials. That's what they made out of. It's like
Junior high.
you stomp on it, and the metal around it is like total thick, and that like
It's
olive
worth it to
drab,
shoot
like Soviet olive green color. It's just like wow, amazing.
Well, I have to ask
now you can buy a spacesuit, like Soviet Union.
Run your
Think about all
guitar
the
through it
parties
and
you can have. Like, hey, who am I?
notes. Yeah.
Or Steve Albini had this idea when we were playing. He's like, he hates click tracks and metronomes because he thinks they're too fascist and restricting. So he had this great idea that he'd put a strobe light in front of me, and I could like play along to this strobe light. And I'm just sitting there trying to play, and it's just awful, man.
talk about your fascist stuff.
He was sticking his heels like strobe light. Cheers. I close that
Hey
comment.
Kurt, are you getting custom guitars from Fender? Is there some guy building a guitar for you after?
Yeah, I've designed a guitar.
What are the special features of it?
Well, I took a Polaroid. I took
It's
a
really
Polaroid
hard to
picture.
play.
I took a Polaroid picture of a Mustang, and a Polaroid picture of a Jaguar, and then I cut them in half and glued them together and told them to build that, and it's called the Jag-Stang.
It looks real cool.
It does look cool.
I don't know if it's going to be available.
But it
Well, as
looks-
long as you have one, I think that's
Yeah.
the point of those things, right? You just get your guitar.
Mm.
Cool.
I still don't really like it as much as the Mustangs.
Yeah, do you play it?
I need to do. I have to have something.
But it looks cool.
Lars
It looks
Ulrich
good.
started like.
How old is
he
that
got
one you play
Tama
now
to
on
make
stage?
his own.
Oh, it's fairly new.
Yeah.
Yeah, they reissued Japanese Mustangs. I play those mostly.
So you're not like a big guitar collector.
Tama to make.
No, they're too expensive. I have a couple of old Mustangs.
You can do it too.
Whatever I have in my hand. I've smashed a lot of vintage guitars before. I don't do it as much anymore.
In LA.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about this this song. Where did you sleep last night? That you do. Where did you first come upon this?
I'm off of one of my Lead Belly records. Actually, Burroughs, I was reading an interview with him in a magazine one time, and he said something like, these rock and roll kids of nowadays should throw away their electric guitars and listen to some real soul music, and they should listen to Lead Belly. And that was quite a few years ago, so
Yeah.
that's how I was introduced to it.
Except for that version you did on MTV Unplugged was great. I mean, it's just
Thank you.
phenomenal. It's really cool.
We don't play it very often because it's pretty emotional,
Yeah.
and so we usually just save it for
Yeah.
special moments.
Because I'd heard that song originally was in the Pines, and it was done by like Bill Monroe and Mike Seeger.
Yeah,
all these
Seegers,
guys.
yeah, sure.
Just for years and years and years.
They
like
like
Van Ronk. I mean.
in the early '50s, like they totally did all the Lead Belly songs. The Seegers.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
kinds of people ripped him off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were the
He
first
wrote a
ones.
lot of really great songs.
Creedence Clearwater.
Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah.
What was that one singing group that really ripped him off all the time?
Oh, the Weavers.
The Weavers.
Weavers, yeah. Weavers,
really
not the
lame
Seegers.
white group.
The Weavers, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, Pete Seeger was in the Weavers. Yeah.
The Seegers were in the Weavers.
Well, Pete Seeger was in the
The
Weavers, and Mike
Seeger-
Seeger was another Seeger who had-
Weavers.
did other stuff. It's much too complicated to get into. But it's a great tune. Are there any other songs like that that you might be doing sometime in the future, like these nuggets of American folklore?
No, not that I can think of right now.
We did Seasons in the Sun. And that's American
folk.
folklore.
Yeah.
It is. We had joy, we had fun, we had to.
We should have played it. We should start playing that because we practiced it the other day.
Didn't you say you
couldn't
wanted to get
figure it out.
the story of the... He wants to get the story of the B-side again. I think he wants
Put the bone in?
Put the bone in.
Put
like
the bone
Like the
in.
narrative sort of thrust of it.
Well, Put the Bone In is about a man's dog who's hit by a car, and they're burying the dog, and he's begging to put the bone in.
With the dog.
With the dog. That's about it.
Does it have a resolution of some sort? Does he get to put the bone in?
It's just, a funny little chorus.
Do you think it's a double entendre of some sort? Do you think they're saying one thing but actually
Huh?
means something else?
What do you mean?
Like one of those, like put the bone in.
I don't think Terry
Into
Chapman.
the-
Innuendo.
There's nothing sexual
You're
about
worse
it.
than the English, man. You're baiting us. No?
That's baiting.
They're baiting us.
Fair
man.
play. Yeah.
Sounds like Taz is baited. He's baited.
So how long will this tour go on? Are you going to be on the road for the rest
For fucking
the next
ever.
2 years, or do you get
I don't
off?
know. It doesn't seem like we've even been on tour, really. Looking back on it, it's been the easiest, greatest tour I've ever been on.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's so relaxed and great.
Wow.
It's just, the morale is great. Our health is good. It's just, and playing these larger places is just, it's a lot easier for us because we can actually breathe instead of,
Yeah.
we've been going on tour for like 5 years of playing sweaty little clubs and sometimes choosing to play in the wrong time of the year, like in Texas in July,
Yeah. Well, you get it. And like everybody wants to just have a good time and really go for it. It's like totally rocking out and it's like riding crazy. And like anybody who doesn't want to just kind of like shift back on like perimeter and just kind of rock out and watch, and it's like really satisfying, really good.
These are really good sized places that we're playing. The average of 3 to 5
Tonight was
thousand.
That
Yeah.
was so.
So you're not
was
going to
weird.
like super stadiums or anything? Do you think that'll happen in
No,
the summer?
we couldn't actually.
We
no.
did. We went into this. It was like the St. Paul arena. It was 55, and I drove back into Minneapolis, and I saw this thing, and it was like so big. The top of it was like inflated, so it was like the total
Oh yeah.
Glacier Dome,
yeah.
big thing. That's where the Rolling Stones played. Like, boom,
Never
boom,
do that.
Mm.
boom, boom.
There'd be pressure to do that when summer comes around, right? Won't they be saying, "Hey, stadiums, outdoor concerts"?
Well, we're thinking of maybe doing Lollapalooza if they'll
Yeah.
give us 100% back end.
Yeah. We're not that cool. We're not that cool. But we could go play like, oh yeah, after this tour we're gonna go and like play stadiums and sit there.
Well, I'm sure you
This
could.
is a song about hope. You know.
Does anyone
You said
remember
this.
Laughter?
Yeah.